It's KFI AM 640, and you're listening to The Conway Show on demand on the iHeartRadio app.
Nobody on, and Shohei Ohtani is at bat. I don't know how it can be any more tense and or exciting than this scenario. And if he hits a home run, you will hear the yelling from Dodger Stadium. Right now, it's 0-2. Not good. But the Dodgers at bat in the bottom of the 10th. It's tied 1-1. I call that a pitching duel. I don't know if you guys do the same. And Ohtani is at bat. And he just looked at strike three. So, tough series for Ohtani. I mean, I know he gave us a win pitching, so that's great. And he's had one hit, which is a home run. That's great. But other than that, it's cooled off a little. But thank God that team is loaded. When you have your star player that is cooled off, the other players are going to pick it up, hopefully. All right, so we're watching this. The Dodgers in the bottom of the 10th. And who is that, Mookie? Yeah, Mookie Betts up. 0-2. All right, it's tense. We're going to try to, we'll keep an eye on it. We've got Dean Sharp coming up at 6:20. He'll help us get a little distracted from what's going on at Chavez Ravine. This game could end with one pitch. And so far, there's one out. Mookie Betts at bat with a 1-2 count. All right. We talked about trash increase. The amount of money you pay for your trash, that's going up. The amount of money you pay for parking is going up. The amount of money you pay for everything. You know, your parking meters are going up. Everything seems to be going up. Well, let's look at LADWP. Are your bills going up with your water and power as well? Let's find out.
I spoke with one homeowner in Woodland Hills, and he tells me that his bill went up by several $100s. Whoa! The LADWP tells me that their bills are very much weather driven, and they say to compare your bill now to the same period last year. Numbers on his utility bill, Bruce Scott says he did not expect to see.
Kind of shocking.
Scott lives in Woodland Hills. He showed us his bi-monthly LADWP bill total from June 11th to August 12th. He says his bill went up nearly $600 from the previous 2 months.
Wait a minute, $600. And the previous 2 months were warmer. Well, that doesn't make sense.
Totaling more than $1,500.
It seems to have gone up 50 to 60%, and I can't understand why, because the usage wasn't that much more.
Scott says he does have solar panels that cover part of his bill, but something else that stood out were the LA sanitation charges, which includes sewer and solid waste.
Here we go. The sanitation charges. That's what's going to get everybody.
Totaling more than $300.
I've never seen that number for sewer charges.
And he's not alone. Some people also living in the same area reporting on a neighborhood app that their LADWP bills have also gone up. One neighbor posting that it went up from $800 to $1,100.
Wow.
Another's
That's a lot. From $800 to $1,100? For $800 to $1,100 is insane. A lot of people can't afford that.
One neighbor posting that it went up from $800 to $1,100. Another saying their bill was an unexpected $2,500. Fred Moseni is the co-owner of this ice cream shop in Woodland Hills.
How do you stay in business, in Los Angeles? It's got to be next to impossible. With people ripping you off, people breaking in to your business, on a monthly or, annual basis. You got to have employees, they're squirrely. They quit on a dime, with no notice. You got insurance. You got to have advertising. You got to pay the mortgage. You got to pay for your kid's school. I mean, there's so many bills you have to pay to have a successful restaurant. I don't know how you do it, man. I think it's a miracle that people have successful restaurants.
He is also feeling the pinch.
It's been almost $1,000 this month.
LADWP Chief Financial Officer Ann Santilli telling NBC4 there haven't been base rate increases, but there was an increased rate of 2.5 cents on the power side that went into effect on July 1st to help recover higher energy costs.
Our bills are very much driven by weather. So if you look at the last 2 months, it's been hotter. Our median customer uses about 300 kilowatt hours a month. So that would be about $7.50.
Seems like more. I don't think people are complaining about $7.50. I think they're complaining about the $2,500 bills.
She says some of the biggest electricity users are refrigerators, the AC, and the pool pumps. She also
did you hear that? That's a tip for everybody. All right, listen to what really chews up your power and is costing you a lot of money here.
She says some of the biggest electricity users are refrigerators.
Okay, refrigerator. Maybe you have an extra one outside in the garage, maybe at a barbecue. Maybe you want to unplug that. Maybe you can save some money there.
There's the AC and the pool pumps.
The AC and the pool pumps. We don't have a pool, so we don't have any pool pump, but the AC is constantly rolling in my house. Constantly.
She also says to make sure you're using LED light bulbs to help save as well. Back here at Scott's home, he believes his bill is still too high, even with the solar panels that he has.
It saddens me. I can afford it, but I don't think it's right.
And a statement today from LA Sanitation says that a sewer service charge increase did go into effect in the fall of last year. LADWP tells me there are a number of programs to help you with your bill, including payment arrangements. If you have any questions about your bill, make sure to call the department's customer service line. We're live in Winnetka. Camila Rambaldi, NBC 4 News.
All right, I'm just checking how many DWP employees make more than $100,000 a year. Let's see what that number is. All right, it's generating an answer here. As of 2022, maybe we should do a whip around here. Let's do a quick whip around. All right, just like Crozier, Angel, Tony, and Bellio. Well, I guess it's everybody. How many employees do you think earn north of $100,000 at LADWP? Crozier, let's start with you, Bub. How many employees earn north of $100,000?
Oh, 200.
200. Okay. Bellio.
75.
75. Angel.
Well, how many employees do they have?
No. You're canceled. Cancel.
No.
You're on hiatus. All right. How many?
Okay. Let's go 205.
205. Wow. Okay. Very specific. Do you work there?
I wish I did.
Okay, Tony. How many DWP employees are earning over $100,000?
99.
99. Okay. The winner is Angel Martinez.
Woo!
With 205. You got really close.
Are you kidding me?
6,173.
Is that what the website
Holy
said?
That's what AI says.
No, I meant what Angel looked up.
Oh, no.
No, she just heard my number and went up by 5.
If she did.
Oh, is that what I did?
Yeah, that's right. And if Angel did look it up, she's got a really bad computer because she was off by about $6,000. There are 6,173 employees at the LADWP who earn $100,000 a year or more. 6,173. That is wild. We were all guessing in the hundreds or the high teens, but it's 6,173, and that was as of 2022. It might even be more than that now. I'm sure it is. So that's where your money's going to, LADWP employees. So enjoy that. All right, when we come back, Dean Sharp is going to be with us, the House Whisperer. He is fantastic, and we're going to talk to him about fall gardening and get your, he'll tell us what plants and what to do in the fall to make sure that when spring comes around, your garden pops. We're live on KFI watching the Dodgers still tied 1-1 in the top of the 11th inning.
You're listening to Tim Conway Jr. on demand from KFI AM 640.
The Dodgers are tied 1-1. Phillies have a man on second with 2 outs. And I think it's Bader's up now. It's a 1-2 count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And we'll see. We'll see. All right, let's talk to a very popular guy who has a weekend show here from 6 to 8 a.m. on Saturday, and then 9 a.m. to noon on Sunday. And his name is Dean Sharp. Dean, how you, bub?
I'm good. Hey, before we start, could I make a shameless plug for an organization that I really love?
Sure. As a matter of fact, I'm watching the game, so can you make this a 7-minute plug?
Sure, if you want. Sure, I'll just stretch it out. You just yell if somebody gets a hit. That's all.
Okay.
Here's the thing. I just want everybody to know somebody very near and dear to all of our hearts, Robin Bertolucci. She is a board member of the Conejo Open Space Foundation. And this Saturday, day after tomorrow, at the Conejo Creek North Park in Thousand Oaks, they are having their 4th annual Native Plant Palooza and Eco Fest. It's basically a whole get together talking about the power of native plants, creating wildlife habitat, saving water, fire safing your home. We got a bunch of experts coming out. I'm going to be out there for the whole time emceeing a discussion with some of the experts. There's stuff for the kids. There's food trucks. We're going to have the California Wildlife Center out there, Wild Birds Unlimited, the Theodore Payne Foundation. So anyway, just want to know if you've got time, Saturday morning, actually midday from 10 to 2, get out to Conejo Creek North Park in Thousand Oaks and get to the Native Plant Palooza. That's it. I'm out.
Excellent. All right.
Okay.
I'm glad you know about plants. I consider myself to have a green thumb, but here's the problem I run into. Dodgers just got out of this. Oh, no, it was a foul ball. Sorry. Here's the problem that I run into when I buy plants, from wherever it is. And I buy them all around. I can't tell by looking at a plant whether that plant was grown in the valley from a seedling, or if it was grown up in Thousand Oaks, not Thousand Oaks, Ventura and Oxnard. Because when I buy plants that grew up and born and raised in Oxnard and Ventura, and I bring them into the valley, the heat shocks the hell out of them, and they die shortly after I plant them.
Well, that happens sometimes. That just happens just because of heat shock, period, regardless of where the plant comes from. But you're right. If you're buying one from down the street at your local nursery,
right,
it's been sitting there in the same temperatures.
That's
and
right.
So that's an argument for your local nursery.
Okay.
The one right down your street in your small business in your town. However, most of the time when that happens, my friend, it's because you're actually buying an out of area plant in the terms of the specific environment, the micro environment, or that you're putting it in your yard. People go to nurseries, they see gorgeous plants sitting there in partial shade and getting a lot of water from the nursery, and they want to go home and put it right out by the sidewalk where there's no trees and where it's just going to be blasted by sun all day long. And that's when people ignore is this a full sun plant? Is it a partial shade plant?
Right.
And a lot of people don't realize. I mean, every home has all sorts of little micro environments, okay, within the confines of your property line.
Sure.
And you got to really think about that. If you got you got a house with the north side of your house right up against your house never sees the sun directly. It's always in the shade.
Right.
Because in the northern hemisphere, the sun is always in the southern sky, okay? And then the south side of the house, just opposite. Those plants right up next to the house see the sun all day long. So you really got to think it through.
One thing I've noticed over the last 5 years, I can't believe the advancement that has been made in leaf blowers. They're incredible now. The battery-powered leaf blowers.
Battery-powered leaf blowers. You don't have to have the electrical cord. You don't have to start up the lawnmower engine.
And they were 10 times more powerful than the one I had that was plugged into the wall, or the one that I had that was battery operated. They've really made tremendous advancements.
You know what? All gardening power equipment has.
I think
the
you're right.
best lawnmower on the market right now is a full electric lawnmower.
That's what I have. I just bought one 2 weeks ago. And it's a I can't remember the name. I think it's Skull or whatever it is. But I had a plug-in lawnmower for 4 years, and constantly having to move the cord or running it over. And
it's such a hassle. That's what I always do. I get distracted. I run over the cord.
Yeah, and I like an idiot, I use the Christmas cords to cut the lawn, and they're all green, so it fits right into the greenery of the lawn. And bang, I cut it, and it's over. But
I'll do you one worse. If I run over the cord and cut it, I get really frustrated. If I run over the cord and I don't cut it, I'm like, What the hell's wrong with this lawnmower that it can't cut a power cord?
That's right. But so I bought a brand new lawnmower. I got a deal on it. It was a $500 mower, but they want to get rid of them in these box stores, so I got it for $200. And man, I can't tell you how beautiful it is. It's quiet. I do the whole. There's a big bag on it, so I do the whole lawn in one pass. I don't have to dump the bag 3 or 4 times. And it is. I mean, it's self-propelled and it's sharp and it's just terrific. It really is great.
All right. So, because we're talking fall gardening, I've got something to tell you about that. You're collecting your grass clippings in your lawnmower bag and your leaf blower, whether it comes with an actual vacuum, whether it can be reversed and comes with a vacuum function, and whether it has a bag too. Because if it does, there's something really, really important to do with that leaf blower other than just, blow stuff into a corner, rake it up, and throw it in the trash can.
Mulch it or use it for fertilizer?
Mulch it.
Yeah.
You know that when you use a leaf blower that has a bag for vacuuming, my recommendation, whenever possible, you don't have to do it every week, okay? So bag it up. But whenever possible, at least once a month, use the vacuum function, because as those all that leaves are sucked in, it passes through the impeller of the motor and it mulches them automatically, and then you dump those bags into your gardening beds.
Oh, that's not a good idea. Yeah. Or put them in the green trash can and let the city take them. How about that?
Or take them away. Yeah. Or put them in your neighbor's yard.
That's right. Yeah. Throw it over the fence. It's like George Carlin said. He used to feed his dogs rubber bands. And then when they went number 2, he just pulled one of the rubber bands and just right over the fence. That's his problem now.
Convenient to handle.
All right. Can you stay with us?
Sure.
All right. Dean Sharp is with us every Saturday, 6 to 8 a.m., every Sunday, 9 a.m. until noon. The Dodgers are in the bottom of the 11th inning. There's one out, no men on, and we will tell you when this series ends. Hopefully, we're still on the air when that happens.
You're listening to Tim Conway Jr. on demand from KFI AM 640.
They are 90 feet away from taking the series. 90 feet away.
One hit.
Just one tiny hit. Dean Sharp is with us. Are you a big Dodger fan?
Big. Huge.
Awesome. And so you're probably watching the game.
Trying to.
Yeah,
but I got this other thing I'm doing.
And me too. Hey, let me ask you a question. I don't know the answer to this, and I think it's a great question. Somebody just emailed me this. Why do leaves change colors? Is that something you know, or am I getting too far outside of your expertise?
Well, there's a lot of science to it, but leaves change colors essentially because when autumn hits, a tree withdraws its chlorophyll from the leaf. In fact, if you take a look at a leaf that's changing color and you look at the veins, you're going to see that the veins are green because the chlorophyll is being sucked back into the tree. Okay, so it's getting ready to shut off that little production center. So the first thing it does is pulls the chlorophyll out of the leaf. And when the green is gone from the leaf, what shows through is something that's actually there all the time, which are anthocyanins and this carotenoids, which are basically like sunblock that the tree uses all the time. But now when the green is gone, we actually see them. And then eventually, when all of the chlorophyll has been pulled back into the actual branch, it will self-seal the nub that is connecting the leaf, and the leaf will fall off. And that is the story.
Man, you do know your trees.
Boom.
I know that you've had some experience with Moon Valley, and I have as well. The trees the moon juice that I get from there, the fertilizer, you put it on trees and they explode. I've never used any fertilizer in my life that had so much success with growing trees exponentially. I mean, they grow overnight. I don't know what's in this stuff.
Believe me, everybody wants to know what's in that stuff.
I bet.
I'm not sure I want to know what's in it, but I'll tell you.
Right.
It is like, it puts Miracle Grow to shame.
It's incredible.
As far as like a bursting tree it's really good. Plus, with Moon Valley, you start with these really healthy, beautiful trees. So that helps too.
Yeah, that's right. And then another question I had for you, when leaves do fall at, there's always two schools of thought. Do you rake them up and make your yard look great, or do you leave them for nutrients for the tree? Or do we go back to leaving shredding?
You got to mulch them. You got to mulch them.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing: The tree, if it was up to the tree would be very selfish. It would grow its canopy all the way down to the ground, and it would just sit there and self-mulch its own leaves for its whole life. I mean, you think about it. Think about the wild oak trees in our area, right up on the hillsides. Those canopies are almost touching the ground underneath them, right? That's the way they actually operate. But it takes an awful long time. Anybody who said just throw your leaves in the flower bed, yeah, and you see them 4 years later, they're still there. Okay, it takes a long time to break a leaf down. Right. That's why if you're gonna do it, and I think it's a great idea, but mulch them up and break them into small pieces, and then they'll break down a lot faster.
All right, then one more question about pruning. Is this a good time of year to do that?
It's the perfect time of year. It's the best time of year. Everybody gets all excited about pruning in the spring. Springtime pruning is technically the worst time of the year to do it because the tree is about to burst out into growth and you're going to put it in shock. So it's kind of like, think about this. Think of your tree like it's taking a trip to the dentist and it's going to have a dental procedure. You want to get this done. You know, you want the tree to be in twilight sleep at the dentist when you're pulling branches off. And so as the tree is falling asleep in the autumn, as it's going into its dormant mode, that's the perfect time to cut branches, to do major pruning. And then it has the whole winter to sleep on it. And when spring comes, it's ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, I love when I see the first leaves coming back on trees that have lost their leaves. I mean, it's such a great time of year, when that happens. What do you recommend with grass? There's probably 5 to 6 really great grasses out there. Is there something that can be green all year round?
You could go with and if you want to go with a native kind of grass, you could go with the verde buffalo grass from Riverside University, UC Riverside, verde buffalo grass. You could go with Bermuda grass, which a lot of people think, no, Bermuda's going to turn yellow. Well, not if you keep watering it. It goes yellow during the summer. It wants to go yellow during the summer if you deprive it of water. But Bermuda grass will go all the way through the winter.
Dodgers win!
Oh, my gosh!
Win! Dodgers win on an error, on a total F-up. A hit back to home play, a big hit back to the pitcher's mound, and he threw it over the catcher's head. Dodgers win on an unbelievable play. Dodgers win! Dodgers win! Yes! Yes! Dodgers! They're going to the National League Championship Series. The stadium is going crazy. Woo!
Man, I did not want to go back to Philadelphia for the next game.
Oh, man. No, it was a death sentence. Yes! Dodgers win! Dodgers win! Yes, 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 yes! That's great! Oh, man. I'm losing my voice. I've been yelling, for the last 3 games with these Dodgers, and I feel bad for that pitcher. That is not a way to end the series and end the year for that guy. A simple comebacker that he grabs in and he bumbles it and they throws it over the catcher's head. That is unbelievable. Oh, and it looked like he missed home plate. And then the whoever scored there had to come back and touch. Oh my God. Look at this. He throws it over the catcher's, and all you do is touch the plate. You have to tag the runner. And threw it over his head. And that's the end of Philadelphia's season. It comes to an end on an absolute, one of the easiest plays in the world. A comebacker, a dribbler to the mound. He could have thrown it to any base and got anybody out. He should have gone to first with it. He still could have gone to first after he picked it up. Went to home. The play was to first base. Oh,
you know what? I mean, when you're going 11 innings, you know it's just going to be an error. Yeah. You know it is. It's going to be some little thing.
If I were him, I would not go back to Philadelphia.
No, they throw stuff at their own players during a game where they're winning.
I would move to Spain or France before I went back to Philly. They are not going to welcome this chap home. Dodgers win. The celebration starts. All right, Dean, I'm sorry for the distraction, buddy. I really appreciate you coming on.
It's perfect.
You are the king, man. Thanks, bud.
Thanks.
All right, Dean Sharp every Saturday, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m., and then every Sunday, 9 a.m. to noon. Dodgers win. Dodgers win. They go on to the National League Championship Series. Dodgers win! Yes! Yes! All right, that's great, man. I don't get that excited about anything else really in life. I got it's tied up with these stupid teams and these stupid scores, and I'm every single year, we'll get them next year a lot, but the Dodgers, man, they very rarely let me down. This is great. Dodgers win. Nobody's leaving the stadium. Everybody is still packed in that stadium. I don't see any cars in the parking lot pulling out and splitting and trying to get home early. Everybody's staying and enjoying this party and yelling and screaming. This is great. What a game. Ends in the bottom of the 11th inning. Dodgers win 2-1 on an error. How crazy is that? To end your season on a comebacker that should be the easiest play, one of the easiest plays in baseball. A dribbler comebacker, and the base is loaded. You can go to any base, and they screwed up.
Yeah, it's crazy. When it was happening, you're like, we're going to go to another inning.
Right.
And then it's like, oh!
That's exactly right. Like, a comebacker. I mean, I can handle that. And then he picks it up. He bobbled it, but he still had time to go to first base with it.
Yeah, I think him going to home was, even if he hadn't overthrown him, he was already there.
Yeah. And what a play. What a game. Oh, the tension. I can't take it.
You're listening to Tim Conway Jr. on demand from KFI AM 640.
What a game. What a game. Man, oh man, it is so tense in this station because we have the Dodgers here. I'm facing south. We're in Burbank, right off Olive. I'm facing south. So to my east is the Dodger main station. That's where they do all the shows. The Petros Money, Rogan and Rodney, all those shows are done to my left, or the east studio. And on the west is the station that's dedicated solely to the Dodgers. All the Dodger broadcasts are run through that station. So we're bookended by two Dodger stations. The one that's the studio that is solely for the Dodgers and nothing else, and then the other one that's with the Dodgers but also runs the weekday and weekend programming. And so all the guys who work in broadcasting for the Dodgers, Vassay and Cates and Colin and Kevin, all those guys, they all, Ronnie as well, they all work here, and I see them every single day, and they're all huge, huge Dodger fans. And they get excited and we scream and yell and go, up and down with these Dodgers. But to be here live right next to the Dodger station when they win at home is unbelievable. That happened last year with the Yankees. We were here when the Yankees beat the Dodgers. I'm sorry, the Dodgers beat the Yankees. And had that, fifth inning where they had the 5 unearned runs at Yankee Stadium and went on to win the series on, I think it was October 30th. And it was a party here. It was unbelievable. But I do feel bad for the Phillies pitcher. He's never going to let that down, especially in Philadelphia. To end the season like that, they were favored. The Phillies and the Dodgers were favored to win the World Series. So if they beat the Dodgers, if they'd won tonight and then they won in Philadelphia on Saturday, they were the odds-on favorite to win the World Series. And now they're going home. And that's a long, long flight home, especially for the pitcher that booted that ball. It was a simple dribbler comeback. If you watch it tonight on highlights, anybody playing baseball, I make that play 9 out of 10 times. And I don't play baseball. But 9 out of 10 times, I can pick that ball up and throw it to first or throw it home without a mistake. But I think what happened was the pitcher looked up to see where the runner was, and he bobbled the ball. And then when he picked it up, it was too late to come home, unless it was a perfect throw, but he should have gone to first. The runner was only halfway down the first baseline. He could have nailed the runner at first, and this game would have continued. But man, oh man, what a game. What an unbelievable game. But you got to watch the highlights tonight, on channel 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11. I'm sure it will be the lead story on most of the news broadcasts tonight. You got 50, 52, maybe 53. It didn't look like it was sold out, but it was close. 53,000 people at Dodger Stadium, and a lot of them are still there. Still there, partying, yelling, screaming, hugging, clapping, singing. A lot of them are still in that stadium. That parking lot, let's see, it's 7 o'clock. I'll bet you that parking lot is not empty until 11 o'clock with all the people that are hanging out and just celebrating the win. So the Dodgers win. They'll go on to play whoever wins the Brewers-Cubs series. So it'll either be the Chicago Cubs or the Milwaukee Brewers. And whoever comes out of that is going to play the Dodgers for the National League Championship Series. And I haven't figured out if that's going to be home or away, but I don't really care. The Dodgers do well on the road as well as they do, or even better than playing at home. But the Dodgers have only lost one game in the postseason. They're 5-1 in the postseason, even with really cold bats from some of their marquee star players. Shohei Ohtani, I think, was 1 for 18 or 1 for 19 in the series. And now he's going to have a week to rest. I'd have to see when that series, I'll see when that series starts. But he's going to have a week to rest, and he's going to be he might even be the opening pitcher. Let me see, National League Championship Series. Let's see when it starts here. National League Champion Series start date. Let's see when that sucker starts. It'll be October 13th. How about that, Bellio? October 13th, it will be the National League Championship Series. That will be either the Dodgers and the Cubs or the Dodgers and the Brewers. But either way, that game starts on my birthday. What a gift. What a gift. So a lot of TBD. Nobody knows what time it's going to be. And I'm not even sure they know where it's going to be. Maybe it'll be in, I don't know who has home field advantage there. I'd have to look that up. But what a night. Dodgers win. Dodgers win. And they go on to the National League Championship Series. Oh, it's the best. The best feeling in the world when these Dodgers win. All right, it's Conway Show live on KFI AM 640. Go Dodgers!
Conway Show on demand on the iHeartRadio app. Now, you can always hear us live on KFI AM 640, 4 to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and anytime on demand on the iHeartRadio app.